and gentlemen, you've seen the highlights, you've heard the rumors, but now it's time to get the real scoop. We pull back the curtain on the world of sports entertainment and give you the unfiltered truth. From the biggest pay-per-views to the latest shocking headlines, you're locked in for the ultimate wrestling discussion. This is Between the Ropes, only on the Empty the Bench Network. Now, here's your host, Kristie Wilson.
Everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Between the Ropes. I'm your host. My name is Kristie Wilson. And let's just say this episode came together really quick. I think I've got whiplash as a result of every topic that you're going to be seeing here. I mean, the news was coming left and right, like, left, right. I couldn't keep up. It was insane. But like I said, if you follow the show on Instagram, like I said, it's a doozy. This episode is going to be a doozy. So let's take care of the business, shall we? There is that ticker. Yeah, so you can follow BTR on this network. You can follow me. Another big one right here. You can follow BTR at BTR, ETB, all that good stuff. And here's the big important one, youtube.com/ETB network. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss out on the thing. And we are getting closer and closer and closer to 4,000 watch hours. We achieved that goal. More awesome stuff is going to happen, like more cool stuff that we can do. But if you enjoy all kinds of sports content besides wrestling, you can check out shows like Forever Power 5. You can check out Press Row, ETB Lounge, which, of course, both versions are going to be merging tomorrow. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So check out all the great content we have here. Again, youtube.com/ETB network. We're getting closer to those 4,000 watch hours. Ooh, it's going to be exciting when we finally hit that mark. So now let's get down to what makes this episode, like I said, a doozy. I'm going to start with the most obvious one. And I'm sure people were aware that I was going to do if you watched me last week. Yeah, it's NXT Stand and Deliver review. It was in St. Louis, free on YouTube. I'm going to address the women's triple threat. If you're wondering why the screen kept blacking out, I later read this on Twitter, and I could be wrong. Pardon me. It was because something was wrong with JC Jane's top, and she was having a bit of a wardrobe malfunction. So that's why they kept blacking it out, because it's like, it's PG, and we don't need to see boobs, okay, or nip slips. And I feel bad for whoever put together her gear, sewed it together. Do better. That's all I got to say, do better. But back to the card, there were some changes. The review to the show, there were changes. Tag team titles didn't really change hands. The 10-person match was on the pre-show, and the Good People, I didn't know. Ren Sinclair and all those guys didn't know. They were called the Good People. They beat the Birthright in that match, so that's a big one. Other ones, of course, as we all know, Tony D'Angelo is the new NXT champion. He is NXT's first Grand Slam champion. He's won the Heritage Cup, won the tag team titles with Stax when they were known as the D'Angelo family, and of course, tag team titles, North American title, Heritage Cup. Damn it. And now he's the NXT champion, pinning Joe Hendry And All Ego, Ethan Page, and Ricky Saints. I knew these two would not be able to coexist. I just had that gut feeling as I was watching this. God damn. They couldn't hold up. That alliance wasn't gonna last very long. But yeah, Tony D'Angelo, new NXT champion. Tatum Paxley, still your NXT Women's North American champion. Message to Blake Monroe. Madam, I have roasted you. You're asking to get roasted again because you think the lovely replica belt that the Vanity Project gave you as a present is the actual belt. Bitch, no, it's not. Tatum Paxley holds the actual belt and she beat your ass. Move on. Blake, move on. That's all I gotta say about that. And now the reason why I'm wearing, this is probably the first shirt I have ever worn twice on the show, but I felt it was appropriate. This is your new NXT Women's Champion, Lola Vice beating JC Jane and Kendall Gray. I know people had Kendall, but like I said last week, Kendall's time will come. She is incredibly talented, and she's just so good in the ring. She was the Evolve Women's Champion for a reason, and I think when the time is right, I think Kendall will get her shot, and she will be the NXT Women's Champion. But Miss Lola gets that, and I will get to Lola later on in the show. Yeah, KB, Stand and Deliver was not that bad. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Let me get his comment off here real quick. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, was I surprised Tony D'Angelo got that NXT championship? Honestly, no, I'm happy for him, but I was thinking maybe Joe Hendry would probably hold it a little longer, but beggars can't be choosers in this case. So let's go to the next topic. Of course, tomorrow is an AEW Dynasty. The card is probably fucking about longer from pretty much my ceiling all the way to where my chair is positioned in this room. Yeah, back days. Yeah, Lola 2 belts. Yeah, one half of the AAA mixed tag team champions with Mr. Iguana. Yeah, I didn't forget that. But yeah, the individual success, I'm happy for. Very happy for it, KB. Dynasty is the big one, of course. I gotta tell you, this is building up matches because the match card is probably so effing large, it makes me crazy. But I am going to highlight some matches that I personally think are going to be big. One big one I know in particular is the battle for the AEW Continental title between Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. Mox is the Continental Champion. The big rules here are 20 minutes. Nobody can stick their nose in where it doesn't belong. And that's the main thing. That is the absolute main thing that we need to remember here. And another big match, of course, is for the AEW World Tag Team titles. It's Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR. Long-term storytelling involved in this. FTR betrayed Adam Copeland. Very upsetting. And I think this is where FTR are going to get what's coming to them. And they're going to lose. I think Edge and Christian, yeah, I'm still going to call him Edge. Wait a minute, KB. Wrestling that doesn't insult my... Yes, KB, yes. AEW does not insult our intelligence. I think they know what we want. And this was one of them, being Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. I think they're going to beat FTR. Stokely is probably going to get put back in the wheelchair. He's still going to get put in that wheelchair, and he's probably just going to get put in there and just maybe pushed off the stage or something. I don't have any freaking idea. But this is really crazy. AEW Women's World title is Tekla versus Jamie Hayter. Current champion versus former champion. Nona Tekla signed a new contract extension. It's going to keep her in AEW for a longer amount of time. As much as I like Jamie Hayter and KB, send this out to a mutual friend, to a friend of ours who loves Jamie Hayter. Tell him I'm sorry for making this prediction. I think Tekla's going to retain. And I think I'm going to sneak in two topics because this kind of ties everything together. Here's one. Now, I mentioned the women's world title with Tekla. Now, if she retains, this could possibly happen because Mercedes Moné had to vacate, I think it's the APAC women's world title due to travel issues. So, and she couldn't get to where she needed to be on time to defend that title. So she had to vacate it. This, I think, is definitely a possibility where maybe, and this is just a wild guess on my part, that say Tekla retains against Jamie Hayter, celebrates in the ring, and then you hear that music go off, CEO, CEO. Yeah, and then she comes out, the old shades. Yeah. Where she comes out and makes her intentions known that she wants that belt. She wants that championship, and I think that's where she gets it. So I'm going to go back up here to the Dynasty preview. Now, if there was if Kyle Fletcher were to defend his TNT title, and why am I saying it in the past tense? I don't honestly know who he would go up against, but now here's where something else ties into Dynasty, which is Kyler. Okay, forget it. I misspelled. I'm so bad. And I did say that, KB. I think a CEO might show up, and I think Mercedes is going to show up. I definitely believe she will. And like I said, I think she will make her intentions known to Tekla, and that's where I think that whole feud between those two is going to happen. But back to this one. I know, Kyler, sorry. I'm sorry. But Kyle Fletcher, who I roasted on the show, suffered an injury to the meniscus, which, if you don't know what that is the cartilage between your kneecap and your shin bone. If you tear, it's the cushioning. He suffered the injury, and it's bad enough that he has to require surgery. He's going to be out for a while. So that TNT title is now vacated. Now back to the other banner, which is what I'm currently talking about, because those two that I popped in there are interconnected. There's going to be a casino gauntlet match at Dynasty to determine the new TNT champion. Tommaso Ciampa is in it. He could get it back. That is a possibility. There is a match coming up tonight on AEW Collision to determine who's going to enter in next. Now, I'm not going to predict who exactly is going to be in there. I know one person, he might try and get in there. Well, I thought he was going to be in there until Chris Jericho made his intentions known to challenge him at Dynasty, and that was Ricochet, because I feel like after he'd been the national champion, he should move up further up the mid-card to the TNT title, but he's going to go up against Chris Jericho, but that match is probably going to be a bathroom break as far as I'm concerned, so enough of that. I'm going to, and also another part of Dynasty, this is the big match that I think everyone has been looking forward to, and that, of course, the world title, MJF versus Kenny Omega. Again, another current champion versus former champion. And I still firmly believe it's going to be Will Ospreay who's going to defeat Max at All In. Oh, KB, it's time to get... Yes. I would love Ciampa to get that title back because he didn't have a long enough reign with it. I felt it was just too short, and I don't understand why. I never have understood why. But yeah, I mean, give it to... Either let Ciampa have it back and have him have a longer reign with it, or you let someone new who's been working his way up. You know, there's definitely some possibilities right there. But here, Max versus Omega. Like I said, I still think it's going to be Will Ospreay who's going to dethrone Max in the main event of All In August 30th in London at Wembley Stadium. I still believe that. Speaking of Ospreay, do I think he beats Mox for the Continental title? I'm going to say that's up in the air as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure everyone's going to say Mox until I'm thinking someone in the Don Callis family might dethrone him. I mean, I don't, as far as the Don Callis family is concerned, fuck you. Fuck the Don Callis family. Oh. But Dynasty, that's going to be tomorrow. Check it out on HBO, of course, HBO Max. You can also check it out, myaew.com, Amazon Prime Video. Check that out. So, I don't know. But all I got to say, Dynasty, I'm going to just predict it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And I think it's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view. I really do. Now, a part of the reason why this episode came together so fast with the topics and everything, why resulting in me getting whiplash and all that shit, is this is part of it. Yeah, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk each criticizing TKO and I will get to what they were each complaining about in individual promos that they cut. Now we know the Cody Rhodes Randy Orton story has been writing itself for years. It finally comes to a head. These two are going to battle it out for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Unfortunately, because of TKO is being run by an asshole by the name of Ari Emanuel, that feud, because of the inclusion of let me get to this part before I say the name that probably will make you throw up in your mouth a little bit. I think many of us fans were wondering, who is Randy Orton talking to on the phone, because they showed some backstage segments of him on a phone. Who has an iPhone 6 these days, by the way? I know I should get an iPhone. Yeah, that's Stephanie Becker on my lock screen, by the way. Sorry, I'm a big fan. I can't help it. This is an iPhone 14 Pro. I love this phone. It still works like an absolute dream. Should I upgrade? No, but that's besides the point. Let me get back to the whole thing. Randy Orton talking to somebody on the phone. We didn't know who it was. There was speculation, like, who is he talking to? Is he talking to Triple H? Is he talking to The Rock? Or is he talking to nobody in particular, and he's just talking to himself? Remember, he says he hears voices, of course. Wink. But we ended up finding out who it was last week on SmackDown, and this is part of the reason why this went as crazy as it did. It was ironically Pat McAfee, who Orton was talking to on the phone, shows up on SmackDown last week. And he and Randy Orton beat up Cody. Now, at a certain point during the show, after a Kit Wilson match, Cody comes in, hits Kit Wilson with the crossroads. By the way, Kit Wilson, you're the one who's toxic, motherfucker. Cuts a promo, and he is going off on McAfee being inserted into this feud. I don't blame Cody for being angry about that. I really don't. Because as far as I'm concerned, there was no need to put McAfee in this storyline. And McAfee is gonna be hearing it from me when I get to the last part of the show. Yeah, if you figured it out, you know what I mean, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But turns out that promo was not even on the itinerary for the show. Like, I think there was another match, or I don't even want to speculate, to be honest. But he came in, hit Kit Wilson with crossroads, cuts a promo from the hip. He was told, you know what, Cody, just say what you want. Say how you feel. Hey, Tom, 3 years in a row where Cody's championship storyline gets celebrity involvement. Yes, exactly, Tom. I'm with you on that one. At first you had Jesus Christ, The Rock in 2024. Then you add Travis Scott last year. That still pisses me off to this day. I'm like fucking infuriated over that. That still angers me to this day. As far as I'm concerned, Travis Scott has no credibility with me. McAfee, I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. And it turns out that Cody wasn't the only one pissed off on the whole McAfee thing. CM Punk this past Monday on Raw, he also had some beef. And if you thought his pipe bomb from over a decade ago was brutal, and believe me, I've watched it, it was brutal. But there were no lies told in it. Not at all. There were no lies in this one either. Sure, you can say Punk is selfish. You can say whatever you want about him. You can bring up past things he said, like he's only here to make money, not friends. In this case, I don't think my guess is Punk couldn't take it anymore. So he had to say what he had to say. He criticized, he went after TKO too. He went after McAfee as well. And despite the fact that ticket prices got lowered by 25% after Punk had something to say about it, let's face it, it's still too expensive to go to WrestleMania. I would love to go, but I've said this many times in chats on different shows that I watch. I'm not willing to take out a second mortgage on my house. I'm not willing to donate a vital organ like a kidney or half of my liver or even a portion of my lung. Fuck that shit. I'm not even willing to donate plasma, and I've never donated plasma in my life, so don't get on me about that. But, I'm not willing to do that just to get money to go to WrestleMania. Shit, the tickets for that are priced priced higher than tickets to the freaking Super Bowl. That's insane. And of course, if you watch SmackDown last night, McAfee came back. This guy, I mean, Cody cut a promo on him, confronted him in the ring, and he made McAfee look like a pussy. Oh, Zan was talking about MMA being lackluster these days. The WWE and UFC run under TKO has been really aggravating. I totally agree with you, Tom. I do. There's no question about that. No question whatsoever. But if you watch SmackDown last night, McAfee he looked like an absolute idiot in his segment with Cody. And he was all like, what are you going to do, Cody? What are you going to do, Cody? What are you going to do, Cody? And this is the other part that infuriated me. Jelly Roll gets involved in this shit. I mean, here, hold on. Before I read this comment, I have got to find the correct sound effect that basically is what I'm thinking right now. I mean, well, here's one. And this is what this whole thing has become.
Clown show, clown show, clown show, clown show.
And then another one. I mean, holy shit. Oh, God. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a clown show, first of all. And I know I got it here somewhere. I'm looking at it right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's another one. The top between the Triple H Vince Con topic you'll talk about later, plus this Mania better be homework. I agree. Oh, Tom, you are so right. You are so right about that. It better. Or there's going to be, I think there's honestly going to be hell to pay because I think because of all this bullshit that's been going on, I honestly feel that this is going to, I mean, and I've probably said this and I could get laughed at for this. This could drive people away from WWE and onto other promotions if they still want to watch wrestling, like AEW. You got Dynasty coming up tomorrow night, and it's probably going to be a banger of a pay-per-view. I don't doubt that for 1 minute because, yeah, despite the fact AEW's pay-per-views are long as shit, they're worth it because the matches and the stories being told right now, especially now, are so good. I mean, my God. It's just insane. I'm going to go to something super, super quick here before I get to what Tom mentioned, and that is Bron Breakker, yes, has now been medically cleared. Clearly everything went fine with his hernia surgery, so he's going to be back in action. I would have thought he was the one who was going to be facing Seth Rollins at Mania instead of Gunther, but maybe he's not ready for that yet. So maybe, I don't know, since Rollins versus Gunther is one of the matches on the Mania card, maybe Breakker comes in and starts a feud with Seth. That's just my prediction. Now I'm going to get out of this. It was just a quickie, by the way. Sorry. That was a quick topic. I said quickie, and I'm sure some people are just like, what? But now we're going to get into, this is what Tom mentioned in his comment, and I'll put it back up so you know what I'm referring to. That one. Here it is. Now, Tom Albano, whose comment you saw, he gets a big shout out from me for bringing this to my attention. It turns out that, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this because I bookmarked this tweet on my iPad right here. This is crazy enough. Even I'm going back to this topic for one reason because I can't believe I forgot about it. Even Damian Priest had to get his 2 cents in, and he said it sucked. I don't blame him either. Okay, then now that I got that away, I'm sorry, but now we're going to this some text review that Tom ended up sending me this topic, and I thank him for doing that. So here it is, which is basically there was some. Why can't I talk? God damn. It's from postwrestling.com, which is the text. There were some texts that were revealed to show friction between Triple H, his real name is Paul Levesque, and Vince McMahon over WWE Creative in 2023. It turns out there are exhibits in a lawsuit over the TKO merger document Triple H appealing to Nick Khan and Ari Emanuel to contain Vince McMahon's role. Nick Khan later deleted many of his own messages on the subject. This seems to, it's sparked something in my head here where I suspect in 2023, if you remember late 2022 before SummerSlam, Vince McMahon left over an NDA controversy over women he was supposedly sleeping with and having them sign non-disclosure agreements. It was revealed he was paying them off because there was a certain amount of money not accounted for in WWE's books. So that ended up happening. This whole thing seems to has struck something in me that this might have explained some of the shitty creative that was happening in 2023, in particular involving WrestleMania 39, the main event of night 2 being Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. I mean, like everyone, I was hoping Cody would win, but when Roman retained, I still get so mad when I think about it, though. It didn't sit right with me. The day after that WrestleMania, Vince McMahon sat there with his dumb old porno stash, announcing WWE had been bought up by Endeavor, run by Ari Emanuel. Endeavor, of course, owns UFC, and now they have WWE. And that was approved on September 11th. That deal was finalized in September of that year. And it turns out the following day after that, Triple H and Nick Khan were said to be among executives celebrating the $21 billion combination of these two companies when they were at the New York Stock Exchange. But one text message Triple H said to Nick Khan was, D-Day tomorrow, expecting the worst. And that's because he just didn't have a good feeling about the whole thing. So it turns out this was as a result of a lawsuit. There's some text here in this postwrestling.com article I'm looking at right here. And he goes, and it turns out Nick Khan deleted it. Said, Triple H goes, call you shortly or no time. And Nick Khan said, 2:30 EC before good, after tricky. EC of course, is a reference to an executive committee meeting with WWE's corporate leadership that Nick Khan was a part of that day. And the messages were sent over over WhatsApp, and they were actually disclosed last week. It filed a lawsuit in the Delaware Court of Chancery where shareholders are, this is part of the shareholders lawsuit alleging that Vince McMahon and certain other board members, including Nick Khan and Triple H, unfairly steered the 2023 WWE UFC merger to assure McMahon's personal survival in the new companies despite the sexual misconduct allegations against him. Ironic, but we know what happened afterwards. Vince McMahon's out due to that Janelle Grant lawsuit that is still going on even now. It's just, I always personally suspected, based on what I've watched, that Vince McMahon and Triple H have never always had the greatest relationship. I mean, let's face it. We know Triple H is married to Stephanie McMahon, Vince's daughter. They've been married since 2003, have 3 kids. I don't know what I don't know what it is, but I've always suspected there's always been friction between Triple H and Vince over like both personally and professionally. It's just, I just feel as though, and I mentioned Ari Emanuel, this guy clearly didn't know what he was getting into when he made the decision to take his business and do business with WWE. He had no clue. He had absolutely no clue. And now he knows, and now Ari Emanuel's deep shit, pretty much, for a lot of reasons. Some I already mentioned in the show with WrestleMania and fucking over Cody and all that other stuff. I don't know what the beef is. But this whole thing just looks like, I think even Triple H and Nick Khan knew that WWE and UFC being under one umbrella was a bad idea. I think they knew it. I mean, it's stupid Nick Khan deleted a lot of the text messages because, I mean, what does he have to hide is what I want to know. What does he honestly have to hide? That I'm not 100% sure of, but I'm sure we're going to find out at some point along the line. Something's going to come up. So it is absolutely insane. It is insane. And like Tom said, and I'll put his comment back up right here. No, that's the wrong one. There we go. TKO has been really aggravating at times. Yeah, I have. I totally agree with you there. But let's get off. I'm going to step away from this, and I'm going to say hi to the 136 people watching live. Hi, how is everyone doing today? Sorry about it it's cloudy outside, but I needed better lighting in here. Sorry about that, people. But excuse me. I'm going to get to something that's coming up. I talked about Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor happening on May 15th. Well, one of the matches announced for it is a survival of the fittest. And it's for the Ring of Honor Women's World title. Is this where Athena finally drops it? I believe so. I hope so. I'm praying for it, if I'm being 100% honest. I'm like this. I want her to drop the title so bad and let another woman shine with that championship, because I feel like it just has not been fair to any other woman in Ring of Honor to be deprived of the opportunity. Look, I just personally feel this is where I think Athena should drop the title. I really think so. Because I'm sure if it happens, holy crap. I mean, I think the internet's going to blow. I mean, and it might even be the top topic on this show. I mean, you never know. But I like this idea. I mean, as far as I'm sure, Athena would not have to be pinned or submitted to lose the championship. But we'll see. Because I don't know all the rules yet. But we'll definitely find out. So we shall see what happens when Super Card of Honor happens on May 15th in Maryland. So another big thing came up, announced by NXT GM Robert Stone. That's right. A 2-episode special starting this coming Tuesday, and then a week after is NXT Revenge. And one of the big matches on the card is it's going to be a rematch between the woman whose shirt I'm wearing, Lola Vice, JC Jane. That's going to happen for the NXT Women's title. I think JC's going to not JC. I think Lola's going to retain, and I think JC is finally going to get that goddamn call up to the main roster that she's been long overdue for a long time. I definitely think that is definitely something. More matches coming up. I think Tony D'Angelo is going to defend his newly won NXT championship. Do I think this is finally where I mentioned JC Jane should get a main roster call up. If we get Blake Monroe versus Tatum Paxley for that NXT Women's North American title, that's it. Blake needs to go to the main roster. I think because reports are out there saying that JC, Blake, I think All Ego Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, those are 4 names I've heard for main roster call-ups. After this 2-episode NXT Revenge special, I think that should be it. Those 4 need to go to the main roster. I mean, they really do, because what else is there for them to do in NXT anyway? As far as I'm concerned, nothing. Because you did everything you could. What else is there? So we'll see what happens. Whew. We get to a happier subject. Since I've shown this shirt off twice, I'm going to do it a third time. Haha. There you go. Yep. If you had to guess, she is my wrestler of the week. Yeah, Lola Vice. We know her backstory. She's, Cuban American from Miami, Florida. She's trained in mixed martial arts, Taekwondo. Her dad owns a Taekwondo studio. You watched a little vignette that NXT did on her. You get to see her in the gi and everything. She was in Bellator MMA. Her record was 4-1. And since I know a couple of MMA outsiders, Tom and Zan, they can tell me if I'm correct or not if they're watching. Because I want to be 100% sure I'm correct on her Bellator MMA record. But comes in, yeah, she's like this typical sexy Latina woman, but she's shown she's got a fighting spirit. This woman is, I think, 4-0 in NXT underground matches. Like one of her last ones, beating Kalani Jordan in an underground match. She's badass. I mean, she pulls no punches, literally and figuratively. And she said this, just because she shakes her ass doesn't mean she can't kick your ass. And if you hear her say that, you better take it seriously, because she will kick your ass. She will definitely kick your ass. And now she had an opportunity to win Women's North American Gold. She had an opportunity to win the NXT Women's title. Didn't get it. I'm sure there was amongst us fans, we were like, oh my God, all hope's lost. She's not going to get it. But at Stand and Deliver, she finally got that. And that's because her time is now. And she took advantage of that opportunity, went for it. Now she's the champ. She's going to JC Jane got a rematch, but JC Jane's leaving NXT with no gold around her waist. So Lola is just, to me, she is amazing. She's awesome. She's worked really hard, I think, just transitioning from an MMA fighter to a WWE wrestler is a tough transition. Not everyone. I mean, I could say I don't think Ronda Rousey was willing to put in the work to make that transition, but Lola was. Lola was definitely willing to put in the work and put in the effort to get better at her skills in the ring, her promos. I mean, heck, her fighting skills are without question. Like, her back fist move is deadly. I mean, whew, she hit JC Jane with that at Stand and Deliver. I was stoked. I mean, 1, 2, 3, and I'm jumping around like a rabbit in my living room, enjoying. Just so happy for her, and I'm sure the wonderful man in her life, Damian Priest, was super proud of her. I mean, I saw the picture of them kissing. Neither here nor there, but so happy for Lola. She deserves to be NXT Women's Champion. She's my wrestler of the week. Oh yeah. And I'm not going to forget, she is also one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions with Mr. Iguana. So, I hope they get a chance to defend those titles again soon in a AAA event. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited. We are now in the Vice City era, people, and I think we're going to have one hell of a great time. So congratulations, Lola. Now, I debated with myself a little bit over the last segment of the show, simply because I kept thinking, should I go after this person or should I go to somebody else? Turned out I should not have even debated. I should not have even questioned myself about it because it was just too damn obvious. Yeah, why is Pat McAfee in the Roast to Wrestler segment, you ask? Well, let's face it. Yeah, he has done commentary. I mean, he and Michael Cole have the potential to be one of the greatest pro wrestling commentary teams since Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. But McAfee is a man who likes to take on way too many responsibilities, whether it's the Pat McAfee Show, ESPN College Game Day, God knows what else. He has wrestled in a few matches. He's fought. I mean, if you look up the Pat McAfee Show on YouTube, his interview with Adam Cole. I mean, Adam Cole, I don't know if he was playing being mad or he genuinely didn't like or McAfee just rubbed him the wrong way. I don't know what it is. He has. Oh, fuck. McAfee, you definitely had. I'm so mad at you, I can barely talk. But let's be clear about one thing. We know what you're all about. You're brash, you're abrasive. You write checks that your dumb ass can't cash. Like I said, the guy has pissed me off so bad I can barely talk. But KB. Hold on. I'm going to do this, and it's only for the adding raisins to good potato salad part of your comment. That's the only thing I have to, I'm sorry. I can't believe I have to do this to you, KB. I'm sorry. Here it is. Yeah. Well, I agree with you on that one. Holy fuck. But look, McAfee, you have been called a stoner. I have the right sound effect for that one. If I can find it. God damn, I need to have these organized here a little better. At least just for myself. But McAfee.
Stay off the weed.
Yeah. I mean, geez. Just because Ari Emanuel wants you to start becoming an actor because he thinks you could be the next one, motherfucker, you aren't even close. What can you honestly do besides be a brash, abrasive asshole? You can't act your way out of a wet paper bag. And if Ari Emanuel thinks you're the next Stallone, I don't know what he's smoking. I have no fucking idea what he's smoking.
Was on crack.
Yeah, apparently Ari Emanuel's on crack. So are you, McAfee. If you honestly believe that, let's face the facts here, dude. Yeah, you had a long NFL career with the Indianapolis Colts, but dude, you were the motherfucking punter. The punter. You were not the quarterback. I'm sorry. Did you wear number 18? No, you're not Peyton Manning. Shit. Peyton Manning is one of the GOATs. Oh, I'm probably going to get screamed at. It's like, no, it's Tom Brady. Well, guess what? McAfee ain't Tom Brady either. So there's that. And by the way, McAfee.
If we keeping a buck right now, we ass.
Yeah. Yeah, your ass. Like CM Punk said in his promo, you are writing checks that your narrow ass can't cash. And let's face it, that promo Cody Rhodes cut on you, he made you look so fucking bad. It was hilarious. You looked like a freaking sissy. In fact, you started talking like a lot of freaking high school bullies that I used to deal with going to school saying, "Oh, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Huh? 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 Huh?" And then you have Orton come and he took your fucking belt. Congratulations, McAfee. You may have just cost your boy Orton the title at WrestleMania. As we all know, if you steal someone else's championship belt and you didn't win it, that means you're not going to win it. You're not getting it. It's not yours. Oh.
Because he's a raw pain in the ass.
Yes, McAfee, you are a raw pain in the ass. And let's face it, if you try interfering, I'm sure you are going to get laid out by somebody. If Jelly Roll comes out and lays you out, okay, fine. But I'm not going to like it. TKO took 25% off ticket price this week. Yeah, exactly, KB. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference because the tickets are so expensive anyway. But back to the whole McAfee is the next Stallone. Sorry, bitch. You probably couldn't write an iconic character like Rocky if you even tried. I don't even think you know how to write a damn story anyway. So you probably couldn't play Rocky. You're too dumb to be Rambo, first of all. And this is me being completely ignorant. I have not watched one episode of Tulsa King on Paramount Plus. I just need anyone out there in the comments, just tell me if it's good. Don't spoil it for me. Just tell me if it's good or not. So, McAfee, you're not Stallone. You look awkward as fuck in the ring. I mean, you going up against Austin Theory, WrestleMania 38. I mean, jeez, you beat him with a damn roll up, and then you get hit with a stunner by Stone Cold Steve Austin while drinking beer. Let's face it. The only athletic ability you have is you know how to punt a ball. And you use that leg to kick Cody Rhodes in the balls. I would like to see Cody Rhodes kick you in the balls, but supposedly you coerced Nick Aldis into telling Cody, "Oh, don't have him touch me." Ugh. McAfee, let's get one thing straight here, okay? You're an asshole. Go fuck yourself. Don't ever come back to WWE. If you are seriously done with it, like you said you needed a break or something like that, just go away. Go away. Focus on your show. I mean, holy shit. Start negotiations. You could probably put your show on Netflix, which I should leave to Nick Morgeson and Callum McClurg to talk about on Press Row. Believe me, that's not going to be fun at all. I am not looking forward to that. But McAfee, you fucking suck. And you should never have allowed yourself to be inserted into this feud anyway. You should have stayed the fuck away. Let Cody and Randy cook. Let them do their thing in the ring and just, be like guest commentator or something like that. You should have told Ari Emanuel, no, I don't want to be involved in this feud. You know what? What did I get this time? This whole WrestleMania season is me asking yeah, that's the question I've had the whole time, KB. Why? Why? McAfee, you fuck off. Stay away. Nobody wants you in this feud. Those people on SmackDown last night saying, "Go home, Pat," that's not heel heat. That is not. That's what a friend of mine called, "This shit genuinely stinks heat." Excuse me. That's exactly what it is. And if you couldn't understand it, then you're dumber. You are way dumber than I thought you were. So guess what, McAfee? Fuck off. Go home. Don't you even dare come into Las Vegas and stay the fuck out of this. That is all I gotta say to you, you piece of shit. I had more harsher words involved in this, but I don't know. This whole thing left me so fucking tongue-tied. It's ridiculous. Should I have been more aggressive? Yeah, I probably should have, but I think if I ever get that angry, I just should not censor myself at all. I just shouldn't. In fact, I should just do this.
RELAX.
Thank you, Aaron Rodgers. There's your ticker. Scrolling around again. Well, I was looking for a damn sound effect. I'm sorry. And of course, you can follow this show at BTRETB. And of course, the big one, of course, is go to youtube.com/ETB Network. We're getting closer to 4,000 watch hours. That way we reach that. We can do cool stuff. Or stay tuned later tonight for the ETB's UFC 327 post show that's coming up 10:30 Mountain Standard Time. I think it's 12:30 Eastern. So check that out. After UFC 327 is done on Paramount Plus, I'm going to say thank you to the 140 people watching live right now. I think I got up to 141 at one point, which is great. But that will be it for me, and I will see you folks next week with a brand new episode of Between the Ropes. See ya!